Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Hello everyone and welcome to your English class. In our lesson today, we'll start with our first unit, which is titled Big Changes. You can find it in your books on page 6 and 7. Our lesson today, the first lesson, will be a listen and discuss lesson. You're going to listen and we will discuss certain questions together. Let's get started. All you need for our lesson today is your books, your student books on page 6 and 7, a sheet of paper and a pen to take down your notes. You might need to write anything. Let's go ahead. Here, you had a question in yesterday's lesson. Yesterday's lesson, you had a homework that you were supposed to do. What have we discussed together? We have spoken about the idea of intonation. What is intonation? Intonation is the rise and the fall of the sound while you are speaking. So it's different when you are happy, excited, or you are bored. And we had taken the example of it's raining and it's raining. Different feeling, different attitude, so different vowel, different intonation. Your homework was to say the expression here, hello, in different situations. And I myself have thought about these situations. And number 1, say hello to a friend you haven't met in a while. You miss a friend. Then you met them, this friend, outside your school. How are you going to say hello? You will say hello. You are hello. Excitement. Not hello. No. Hello. You are happy. Excited. How about a stranger? You met someone you don't know, outside. And she wants to talk to you. What would you say? How are you going to say hello? Are you going to say hello? No, you will say hello, professional, calm. We're having a falling intonation. Hello. How about on the phone? The phone is ringing and then you will pick it up. What would you say? You will say hello, professional. You don't know who's the caller. Then if you find out that she's your friend or your friend, so you are going to turn into a higher intonation, rising intonation. Then to someone who's not paying attention, you're talking to your sister or your brother, however, they are not paying attention to you. You want them to wake up, to pay attention with you. Are you going to say hello? No, you say hello, rising intonation. Hello. So, let's say hello in a rising intonation. Hello. Falling intonation. Hello. So, falling and rising intonation. This is the idea of intonation. It expresses not what you say, no, it is how you say something. It gives how you feel towards something. Okay. For our lesson today, by the end of today's lesson, you will be able to discuss past events and their effect, answer some questions on a given text, and talk about global issues. So the main idea that we're talking about today is the idea of change. Do you know what is the meaning of the word change? What is change? A change is when we are in one situation, then it will be changed. It will be transformed into another situation. Changing color from blue to green, this is change. Changing from going to school to online learning, this is a change. Sometimes you yourself, you feel towards it that it's a positive thing. Other times it's not positive. So change is when we are transforming from one thing to the other. Just like in your situation, you are changing school. You graduated from intermediate school, and now you are in your secondary school. This is a change. Hopefully it's a good one. We're speaking about a change. Here, let's look at these two pictures. What can you see in these two pictures? We're having the first one. This is a picture for a virus. And the other one here, the idea of vaccine. So a virus and a vaccine. What have you read or seen about these two issues? All the media, TV, newspapers, everywhere, everyone is talking about the virus, the coronavirus that we're having, and the vaccines, the shots or the vaccines. Have you heard anything about them? I guess everyone have heard about them all. Which is positive and which is negative in your opinion? Do you think that the coronavirus is a positive thing? When it happened, did it bring any positivity? For me, I believe no. It's a negative thing. However, others would say, no, I feel that it's positive. So, opinion. How about the vaccine or the vaccinations? I believe this is one of the best things that happened. It affected our life positively. Are there any other changes that have impacted our world significantly? So we have the coronavirus, and it changed our lives. Then we had the vaccine, and it changed our lives as well. We are back to our normal life. Can you think about any other change, any other significant change that affected our lives today, positively or negatively? You can think about anything, maybe changing school. You could speak about the idea of war, diseases, things, whether they are positive, good things, or negative. You believe that they are bad things. Just think about them. Now let's check in your books on page 6. All I want you to do here is just to check the pictures. How many pictures do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 pictures. Let's check the first one. What do we have in this first one? It's a map. The map for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Does it remind you of anything? You yourself? It reminds me of how proud I am for being Saudi. How about the second one? It's a map as well. Which country's map? It's the map for the UAE, the United Arab Emirates. Can you think about anything personal? Does it remind you of anything? It reminds me with my last visit 2 years ago to Dubai. How about in here? What can you see on this third picture? Here we're having a rocket. It's a rocket, a spaceship. Does it remind you of anything, any name? For me, I can remember Neil Armstrong. How about it in here? This is a satellite. Does it remind you of anything? Yes, it reminds me to check my phone because it is what provides my phone with the signal. How about you? Does any one of these remind you of anything? Just think about anything that you can relate, you can make a connection, you and this picture. Okay, we will take these one by one, but before we start, I want you to listen to this introduction, these 3 lines, and read the subtitles. Let's listen to them.
The world is constantly going through changes. Look at some important events that have changed the world and affected the lives of many people in modern times.
So, the world has constantly, continuously going through change. Every day we're having a new change. We're going to speak about 4 changes. They happened in the past, not today. They're not taking place today. They happened in the past, and today we can find out the result, the effect. We can feel it today. Things have changed, and the change that happened in the past, and today we can find, or we are actually living the effect. What are these 4 changes? You can read the subtitles. The first one is that we've got here. It is the unification of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. unification of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The second one, the United Arab Emirates, UAE. 3. The space race. 4. The communications revolution. So, in here we're going to read, listen, and discuss, talk about these 4 changes. They happened in the past. Today we can find that we can feel and live the effect, the result. They happened in the past, and today we can feel the result. Let's start with the first one. The first one is about the unification of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I want you to listen to the text while you are tracing in your books, page 6, and find the answers for these 2 questions. Question number 1. When did King Abdulaziz regain Riyadh? 2. What happened on September 23, 1932? Let's listen, and you will come up with the answers.
The unification of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. King Abdulaziz, a gifted leader, was responsible for the legendary event that marked the beginning of modern Saudi Arabia. In 1902, he regained Riyadh, beat the city garrison, took the Mazmak fortress, and established his headquarters in the city. He expanded Saudi Arabia to include all of the Hijaz, Makkah and Medina, and united all the tribes. On September 23, 1932, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia was officially established as an independent country, with Arabic as the national language and the Holy Quran as its constitution. King Abdulaziz initiated the building of infrastructure and set Saudi Arabia on the road to modernization.
So, when did King Abdulaziz regain Riyadh? He regained it. He got it. When? So you are looking for a number. When? He regained it in 1902. 1902. When you are reading numbers, you are reading them 2 digits by 2. 1902. Or 32. 2 by 2. Then, the second question. What happened on September 23, 1932? It is the Saudi National Day. This day, the 23rd of September, it is the Saudi National Day. What happened in 1932? In 1932, King Abdulaziz officially set up the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia as an independent country, with Arabic as the national language and the Holy Quran as its constitution. So, starting from 1932, September 23rd, Saudi Arabia is an independent country, a standalone country. King Abdulaziz started it as an official country with Arabic as our national language. We all speak Arabic, and the Holy Quran is our law and constitution. Whenever we want anything, we will refer to the Holy Quran. How about the second one in here? Here we're going to speak about the United Arab Emirates, UAE. I want you to listen, and you will find the answers for these 2 questions. What does UAE stand for? The U, the A, and the E. When was the UAE dirhams launched? It started when? So we need a time. Let's listen.
The United Arab Emirates, UAE, the Federation of the United Arab Emirates, known as UAE, consists of 7 sheikdoms: Abu Dhabi, Ajman, Dubai, Fujairah, Ras Al Khaimah, Sharjah, and Al Khan. The city of Abu Dhabi is the capital. The UAE was officially established in 1971. It came after the discovery of enormous oil reserves in Abu Dhabi in 1958. The UAE dirham, a single national currency, was launched in 1973. The oil revenues as well as income from other commercial activities have been used to develop a thriving economy and social infrastructure. Abu Dhabi now hosts its own Grand Prix at Yas Marina Circuit, and Dubai is home to the tallest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa.
So what does we were having the abbreviation UAE. What does it stand for? It stands for the United Arab Emirates. U for United, they unite all. Arab, A, Emirates. We're having many Emirates, Sheikdoms. Then, when was the UAE dirham launched? It's their currency. We're having Riyal and they're having their dirham. When? So we need the time. It was launched, it started in 1973. 1973. It was launched, it was started, it became used by everyone. This is about the UAE, the United Arab Emirates. How about the following? In here, the space race. Now what I want you to do in here to answer these two questions. Who launched the world's first artificial satellite? How old was Sultan ibn Salman when he flew on the space shuttle? Listen and find the answers for these two questions.
The space race. The Russians launched the world's first artificial satellite, Sputnik 1, on October 4, 1957. Next, Sputnik 2 went up into space on November 3. The Americans won the race to land on the moon more than 10 years later, with Apollo 11 on July 20, 1969. This is one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind, said astronaut Neil Armstrong, the first person to walk on the moon. Prince Sultan bin Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud flew on STS-51G Discovery in June 1985 as the representative of the Arab Satellite Communications Organization, Arabsat. He was the youngest person to fly on the space shuttle at the age of 28.
So, who launched the world's first artificial satellite? So we need here who, a name. Who were they? A group of people. They are the Russians, people from Russia. The Russians did that. Then they were followed by the American. Then, how old was Sultan ibn Salman Al Saud when he flew on the space shuttle? He went to the moon and he landed on the moon. How old was he? He was very young. At the age of, he was 28 years old. He was very young at the age of 28. Let's go to the following. The fourth one in here is about the communications revolution. This is a satellite. It is a communication satellite. What is the name of the first communication satellite? Just the name. When was it launched? When, so we need the time. Now let's listen and he will come up with the answers.
The communication revolution. The first communication satellite, called Telstar, was launched from Cape Canaveral on July 10, 1962. This marked the start of rapid transmission of TV signals over wide areas. What we take for granted today, satellite television, cellular telephones, wireless and high-speed internet connections, and so forth, were part of science fiction only 40 years ago. Teenagers today are the first real citizens of the digital world. Unlike their parents, they have grown up in a world in which electronic delivery of information and entertainment is natural and more accepted than conventional forms like the newspaper, tape, or film.
What is the name of the first communication satellite? So it's a name, you will find the first letter in capital. So it is called the Telstar. When was it launched? It was sent to space in 1962. And this one is responsible for the space signal, for the telephone, the TV signals. That's why we can communicate with those people who are far away using the communication satellite. Okay? Let's go ahead and continue in here. Find each vocabulary word in the text on page 6. Read the words that come before and after that vocab, and then decide the meaning, which meaning is the best for it. So we will match the word with the meaning. To affect, to launch, to take for granted, to establish, and to host. So let's start with number 1. Which one is to affect? Notice affect, the verb with a, the e for the noun. To affect is to produce change. So we can say satellite affected our lives today, changed our lives today. To launch, the space rocket was launched. It was sent to space. So be to send into space. We are sending a space rocket or a satellite. 3. To take for granted. What do we mean by taking for granted? Like we are taking the internet, communication for granted. We can't live without it. Taking for granted is to accept as part of our lives. It is part of our life. We are taking it for granted. 4. To establish. King Abdulaziz established Saudi Arabia. How did he establish? Is to set up or to start. Host is to provide a place for. Like the UAE, they host many conferences. They provide places for. Now let's answer these questions. I want you to answer with true or false. Sputnik was the name of the Russian spaceship. What do you think? I guess it's yes. True. The Russians launched the world's first artificial satellite. It was called Sputnik 1. 2. King Abdulaziz set Saudi Arabia on the road of modernization. The first text. Yes, it is true. King Abdulaziz started the building of infrastructures like the roads and set Saudi Arabia on the road of modernization. 3. At present, today, the UAE has 10 member states. What do you think? They are not actually 10. They are UAE consists of 7 sheikdoms. So they are 7 sheikdoms. They are not states and they are not 10. The UAE dirham came into use 1963. So you're looking for the dirham. It's false. When? The UAE dirham, a single national currency, was launched in 1973. Digital forms of information are something of the past. In the past, they are something of the present, something that we live today. In the past, they didn't have communication revolution. Let's continue in here, and I want you to take a look at this picture. We have spoken about things that happened in the past, and they have changed our lives today. They happened in the past and changed our lives today. But now we are going to speak about things that are taking place today, and they will affect lives in the future. We're going to speak about global issues. Global, something related to the idea of planet Earth. Issues, problems, things that we are doing today, and we think that it will affect the life in the future. Like what? Can you name any? Here we're having the idea of overpopulation. Population is the number of people. Overpopulation. We're having a rising number of people. Also, what's wrong with water? Water scarcity. We are not going to have enough water in the future, drinking water. Also, pollution. Air, land pollution, water pollution, all kinds of pollutions. One more is global warming. In your books, we're having a long list of certain global issues. Let's read them together. And I want you to think, which one of these do you think is much more affecting our lives? You think it is having a negative, it's having a negative effect on our lives. Global warming, poverty, security, fresh water, economy, endangered species, terrorism, pollution, diseases, unemployment, traffic, globalization, natural disasters, and overpopulation. Based on what you think, which one of these do you think is having a negative effect more than the others? It is personal choice, personal preference. For me, I might choose global warming. How about you? Okay. For your homework, you are supposed to do this thing. What are you going to do? You will choose one of these 4 issues, these problems. You will choose any one. For me, I have chosen here global warming. Then you will write a fact about it. Search the internet about it. What is it? And one sentence about it. For me, global warming, the planet is heating up, the rising temperature. Maybe you can tell anything about it. Then, if we keep having this global warming, what might happen in the future? For me, I think in the future, we might have the sea level is rising. We will have a rising sea level. Choose any one of these 14 that we have previously in the previous slide. You will find them in your books, page 7. Then write one fact and one result or one effect. Okay? I guess that is it for our lesson today. And thank you so much for your time.